NHS drive to go net zero. So they are paying in wages £3 million a year of our money to a new unit set up to help the NHS go net zero. And I'll tell you some of the brilliant ideas they've come up with. They are rolling out electric ambulances. They are looking at reducing gas and air, which you have when you have a baby. I know my wife's she's had the baby, we've got the babies together. And this task force is just sat there at their desk saying, how can the NHS be a bit cleaner and greener? Now, my view is they should be sat there saying, how can we get rid of the record waiting lists? How can we ensure that we have more ambulances, not going out and buying a £150,000 new electric ambulance, which we'll have to charge for several hours a day. Go and buy a diesel one. It only takes 10 minutes to fill up the diesel tank and get out there and help people. Why, Stella, is the NHS wasting time, wasting money on the new religion of our country, net zero nonsense?
Can you remind me, how much did you say? 30 million or
3 million they're paying.
3 million, OK, so that's why, because it's nothing. It's just
no,
a
it's
drop
nothing.
in the bucket.
It's nothing.
It's a drop
£3
in the
million
bucket,
of tax.
I'm going to surprise you here, Jake, because I do agree sometimes I do get frustrated when organisations where climate change has nothing to do with them and they have other very important tasks to do. I do get frustrated when they spend money on things that look like they're green policies, but in the vast scheme of things...
OK, so it's more than that. So, first of all, you may say 3 million quid's nothing. This is taxpayers' money. I don't think it's nothing. But in terms of the NHS budget, you are right, it is a very small part of it. But we should save every penny, and we should, 3 million might employ 100 nurses. I think that's a better use of the money. But this electric ambulances, which is going to apparently happen all over the country, it's being piloted everywhere as far as things are, they are 150 grand each.
How much is the diesel
So you could buy,
ambulance?
well, I don't know, but I think from my knowledge of the commercial vehicle sector, you could probably buy 1.5, if not 2, Ford Transit vans, which are converted to ambulance. I don't know how much they are. But my main concern is they'll be charging half the time. There's a record delay. Everyone's waiting for an ambulance.
The queues are so long at A&E, they can charge while they're waiting in the queue at A&E because the queues were led by this Tory health.
Well, come on.
Does it not make sense that the service that will have to pick up the tab when people get sick from too much pollution also doesn't stop causing so much pollution? Does it not make sense?
Well, most people don't live in cities, though, Stella, do they? The majority of the British population live outside of cities. We do have very large cities, but the majority live outside. And actually, once you get out of major cities, the least polluting vehicle you can have is a diesel because it's lighter, it doesn't use as much as the tyres, you don't have to mine lithium in difficult parts of the world to create the batteries. So, first of all, I don't even buy the fact that electric vehicles are the answer. There's a real concern about them having to charge up. But let's go wider than that. Do you think a mother, when she's in labour in hospital, begging for gas and air, because being unbelievable pain, is going to say, don't give me the gas and air, because this group of people paid 3 million quid between them and said it's environmentally damaging? This is nonsense, Matthew.
Look, thinking about your environmental impact is a good thing. We should all think about our environmental impact. And the NHS, which is the largest employer in Britain and one of the primary users of public money, should be thinking about its environmental impact. But that must not come at the expense of clinical decisions. This is to be driven by clinical decisions. If it's the same outcome and it's a greener input, then that's fine. But we should. I mean, there's an issue.
If you were saying to me, though, cover every single hospital roof with solar panels, what a great idea. And in fact, you'd find companies, because they already do it with supermarkets, you'd find companies who'd rent the hospital roof and put the solar panels on.
That's a good idea.
That is a good idea, but it's not happening.
No, I think a paper... I'm not endorsing everything that's been speculated about this group. Is saying a paper cannula seems to me a daft idea. As you said about women in childbirth being not given the right pain relief is nonsense. And there's an issue about asthma inhalers where they're moving to a slightly more environmental type, but apparently it doesn't. It's more difficult for young people and very old people. So, it needs to be driven by clinical decisions. Common sense is what we need.
Common sense in the NHS. There we go. What a great idea.